You know, they say a single black mother can't raise a single black man. Well, I don't know about a single black man, but she can't raise a black man. Well, Shaka Zulu was a product of a deadbeat dad and a single black mother, but yet he still became the king of the Zulus under his mother's tutelage. So much for a black woman can't raise a strong black man, huh? Well, we're here with our Gen culture, where we build husbands, fathers, and gentlemen. It's all about the courting process. And it's up next on Gent Culture. All right, Dame. right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to GentCulture, where we build husbands, fathers, and gentlemen. Shout out to everybody in the chat who came to support. We're going to be focusing on the courting process and how to take the courting process seriously. The reason why we have GentCulture is because we're trying to create a culture of gentlemen who will blossom into honorable fathers and honorable husbands. But it starts with the teaching of how a boy becomes a boy and grows into a gentleman. All of that is in the teaching. All of that is in the understanding of the culture. So we're going to get right down to it. Now, I notice some of you brothers listening to bad people who are giving you bad information that will yield you bad results. It's not about being a pimp. It's not about being a player. Get that out of your mind. Grow up. Grow up. Stop being a boy. Stop being a grown man with the mentality of a young boy. Boys play. Men handle business. Grown men handle business. Boys play. Boys play with fire trucks and Hot Wheel cars and action figures. That's what boys do. That's what a player is. A player is a boy in a grown man's body. This is why he cannot be faithful to a woman. This is why he bounces from one woman to another, because boys don't know what they want. Boys don't know how to make a commitment. And the fact that they glorify this tells you one thing. It tells you that you're dealing with a man that refused to mentally grow up, that refused to mentally become a responsible grown-ass man. Oh, they will fancy you with their suits, their brim hats, their gold and rings, and tell you that they high value and all of that. But in the end, they're just mentally young boys. This is why they fancy themselves as players. You see a guy talking about being a player, young lady, young women, you keep it moving, you turn in the opposite direction. That's not a man that's fit to be a man for you. Now, a lot of you brothers are being taught the wrong thing. You're following the wrong people. We're here to correct most of this stuff starting today. We're going to get serious about the courting process and what a young man needs to do to win the heart of a woman. This is what it's about. It's not about conquering the woman. It's not about disrespecting the woman. It's not about beating the woman up. It's not about abusing the woman. It's not about calling the woman all out of her name. It's not about ego tripping. It's about integrity. It's about honor. It's about respect. It's about responsibility and accountability. You're here to win a woman's heart. You want to win her heart and you want to win her mind. That is the prize. A weak man cannot do that. A weak man will never win the heart of a woman. See, weakness has all kinds of faces. When you sit back and argue with women, that's weakness. A man shouldn't be arguing with a woman, especially in public. That's embarrassing for you. You don't walk around here and argue with women in public. You're supposed to exude strength at all times. Let me tell you something. As a man, it is vital that you always show strength. You should never show weakness, especially to a woman. And the reason why is because a woman is weak. She has an excuse to be weak. She is a female. She's a nurturer. She brings life into this world. She's a caretaker. She's a loving person. So she's weak by default. So she can't see weakness in you. She must always see strength in you. See, because that's part of the attraction to you, is your strength. And if you're showing her weakness, then you're turning her off. It's like flipping a light switch. So you always have to show strength. You should never be showing weakness, especially to a woman. A woman needs to see strength in you at all time. You're supposed to be the one that is calm and cool under pressure. You're supposed to know what to do. You are supposed to be the problem solver. You are supposed to be the one that bear all burdens. You're supposed to be strong enough to bear the burden of adversity. Because when she breaks down and she falters and she needs to cry and her emotions done got the best of her, you are the one that she is going to turn to for that comfort. She is going to fall into those strong arms of yours that can support her and comfort her emotions. This is what you need to be to her at all times. Exercise being calm, cool, and collected, and be mentally and emotionally strong, and always exercise self-control. So a lot of you brothers don't have any self-control. You can't even have a conversation with a woman without losing self-control. That's bad. That's weak. You should never allow yourself to fall out of character. Nowhere. Not even in your conversation. You should never fall out of character. That's weakness. If you're having a conversation with a woman, you're supposed to maintain a colorful and respectful conversation. You're not supposed to revert to sexual deviancy and start calling her bees and hoes and start talking raunchy, start, putting your Johnson into the conversation. Then you're no different than the dog that's running around here with his tongue out. Why would she want to be connected to a man that at times can't tell the difference whether he's a man or a dog? You understand? You want to maintain that manliness all the time. Now, another thing that I hear you guys making a mistake with is that you don't understand the relationship. Guys are telling you that it's better for you to have multiple women than it is for you to have one woman. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's not true. And if you listen to someone like that, then you're a dumbass. Because all they're doing is destroying your mentality. They're getting rid of the right mentality and they're installing the wrong mentality. They are dooming you to a life of not having any women, not having any success in a relationship, not being able to win a woman's heart, not being able to sweep a woman off her feet. This is all about romance, guys. It's not about pimps and pushers and punks and effeminate dudes with loud mouths. That's not what this is about. This is and has always been about love and romance. When you're dealing with a woman, it is about love and romance. It has always been that. It's never changed. See, many of you haven't been taught that. And you're not being taught that now because you're listening to people who wrote Mac books, who don't know how to treat women. And they teach you how to be a womanizer. They teach you to be a whoremonger. They teach you to be an abuser of women. They effectively turn you into a homosexual. Because if you don't love women, you're hating them. And if you're hating them, then your love has to go somewhere else, right? So it goes over to men. That's what they're teaching you when you read these Mac books and you listen to these so-called big-time players who happen to be dating coaches, right? They're teaching you how to become a homosexual. They're teaching you how to respect and love men, not women. They're teaching you to abuse women. They're teaching you to say that women are hoes and bees and stuff. But at the same time, they're teaching you to be tender and warm to other men, calling your men, calling your guys your dudes, and saying things like, he's your heart, he's in your chest, and all kinds of disgusting things like that. And you don't even realize, you don't even realize you're turning into a homo. I've heard many of you talk. I've seen some of you talk in these chat rooms, and I've listened to the things that you said. You don't realize you talk like a homo because you're listening to these fools who are telling you to hate women. And that's what they're teaching you. They're teaching you to hate women and love men, and you don't even realize. And you run around here regurgitating the crap that they tell you to say, and you don't even know that you sound more appealing to the homosexual community rather than the woman community. So, what is the courting process? The courting process is time that you invest in finding out whether the woman that you're with is going to be your soulmate. Now, you want to put a lot of time into this, right? Because I told you before, marriage isn't for the weak. See, there's no such thing as dating just to be dating and just to be having sex. You date for a purpose. You court for a reason to have a wife, to win a wife, so that you can have children, so you can build a strong family, so you can raise good children. The woman that you choose to be the mother of your children will ultimately give you a woman in your home that you have personal access to, that you can love all the time and don't have to chase out in the street or search for skirts and love out in the street. You have love in your home 24/7. That's a big deal. And you have to get back, you have to understand that women are a big deal. Now, what can a man offer you that's better than a woman? Since some of you want to follow men and you think guys, a lot of these guys out here know what they're talking about, right? Especially the ones that hate women. What can they offer you? You've heard that old saying, what the women bring to the table. Well, for you, since you're following these so-called players and these dudes who are online wearing makeup talking about their dating coaches who are teaching you how to become a homosexual, well, what do they bring to the table for you? What do you want out of a relationship with another guy? You have to ask yourself that. Because if you're walking around here talking about women are hoes, they're bees, and that they're unruly and they're masculine, and that they don't deserve a man to love them, and that they should accept their fate as far as you're concerned. They should accept cheating and all manners of ridiculous things like that. If that is what you believe, then you must also believe that you're looking for an intimate and romantic relationship with another guy. So some of you have to ask yourselves, well, since I don't like women, what do I want in a guy? Right? You may as well. And don't come over here to this space with that nonsense because we're going to call you out. I have no problem calling people out over here. See, over here, we are about the black woman. The black woman is the only woman for us. We don't even know about any other women. We aren't swirlers over here. We aren't non-black women over here. We are 100% loyal and dedicated to the black woman and the black woman only. Now, I don't know what to tell you If you have a problem with that, then maybe you need to go elsewhere. But if you come over here with this homo stuff, you are going to get called out. I'm not a guy that you can play with. I'm going to call you out. Now, if you want some help from my GentCulture, I have no problem helping you. A lot of you brothers need some help. I've listened to many of you, you don't know how to talk to a woman. Now, granted, I'm an old school dude, 54 years old. But I've noticed a lot of you don't know how to talk to a woman. You can't carry on a conversation without slipping into some kind of sexual deviancy. That is not the way you talk to a woman. And it's not about, we don't let them hoes. That's not what it's about. Stop listening to guys who are reckless towards women and telling you stupid things like not to love a woman. Who are you going to love then? Did they ever give you an answer? The next time some fool tell you don't love these hoes, ask him who to love. Ask him. Next time one of these fools tell you not to love a woman or love women, ask him who do they want you to love. So, my situation is this. The courting process. You have to take the courting process seriously because it's going to lead to a serious situation. I don't mean to sound redundant, but we have to hammer this home until you guys really understand that a marriage is serious business. And it is not for the weak. It's not for the faint of heart. If you are not a strong man, you have no business getting yourself in a committed relationship that's going to lead to marriage. You have no business because all you're going to do is ruin somebody else's life. You're going to ruin that woman's life and your own, and possibly the lives of innocent children. This is why you go through the courting process. The courting process gives you time to evaluate the person that you're looking to become your soulmate. Now, I lean more towards the guys on this. The women can take some notes from this too. But this is mainly for you guys because you are the most effed up. You are the one I see out here that don't know how to do anything when it comes down to a woman. Some of you have absolutely no knowledge on how to deal with a woman. You only got this crap beating in your head that you read from these Mac books. Now, the first thing you have to get into your mind that a relationship with a woman is serious, and you have to take it serious. And you have to believe that that woman is precious enough and valuable enough for you to spend your time and money on. Yes, money. What you thought this was going to be for free? Marriages and relationships aren't free. Courting isn't free. It costs money to court. Like I said, this is not for the faint of heart. This is not for the weak. If you can't handle it, you shouldn't be getting involved in it. Courting also costs money. It's an investment. You have to spend money to court this woman. And you, depending on how long you court, you may have to invest several $1,000s into this woman just to find an answer. And that's what it is. Now, some of you are going to say, wait a minute. I got to invest thousands of dollars just to find out if I want to be with this woman or not? Yes. Now, I ain't spending that kind of money, man. I just sit up here and date this girl, that girl. Be my guest. Be my guest. Go date this girl and that girl and this girl and that girl and watch what happens. You're going to end up probably following several children that you don't want to take care of. You're going to end up meeting women that aren't compatible to you because you're looking at them as a sexual attraction. And once you done hit those skins, you realize a couple of days later that y'all got nothing in common. So now y'all got to break up, and you're a baby daddy, and she after your ass for child support. And you're gonna be crying, talking about some man, my baby mama don't want to. I sent $25, and I saw her in the new dress. What she spending on my baby boy? Well, with $25, not a whole lot, but that's what you're gonna be because you're not man enough to pursue the real thing. You want an easy way out. You are afraid to be a man. You're afraid to do the tough things that make you a man. Yes, courting costs money. It's not free. Nothing with a woman is free. Who told you anything different? Even if you're out here hitting the skins here and there, and you're not trying to make a commitment, that's going to cost you too. And it's not cheaper. Especially if you get hit with child support. So when you get married, you're going to spend money. She becomes a permanent consumer of your resources. But that's fine. That's what you want. You want this woman to be that. This is your woman. This is your wife. Your money is now her money. She's a permanent consumer. She's the love of your life. She provides you 24-hour love and care. Then she becomes the mother of your children. She provides you 24-hour care for you and your children. She should be taken care of. You are supposed to take care of her. Now, some of you will probably say, well, we should do a 50-50. That's weak. To ask a woman to do 50-50 is to show significant weakness. I don't even know why a woman even paying attention to a man who's talking 50-50. If a man is out there talking about 50-50, you need to keep it moving. That's not even a real man. That's not a man that's even strong enough to even be in a relationship. He may end up killing you and the kids. If he's that weak, 50-50 from a man, that doesn't even sound right. What man wasn't, hey man, in my relationship, we do 50-50. Well, in your relationship, you're the weak link. You're doing 50-50. You're weak. This is the kind of guy that gets all emotional too. Extremely emotional, falls apart, and don't know how to handle adversity. $50-50. That's that feminist crap. Real man ain't about no 50-50. A real man is about handling it all. A real man is about being a true leader. A real man is about taking care of business, period. There ain't no 50-50. So the courting process, yes, you're going to spend money because you need information. You need to find out who this woman is. You need to see how she reacts in different situations. You need to wine and dine this woman. You need to talk to this woman. You need to see what this woman is like when she's upset. You need to see what she's like when she's under pressure. That takes time. You find all of this out during the courting process. You need to find out if she's the woman for you. Can she do the things that you need her to do in your life? We all have different things and different needs that we need people to fulfill. But you see, my whole thing is never ask somebody to do something. Never ask somebody to be someone you want them to be. Just let them be who they are and see if they fit. See, that's what you want. You want a woman who's naturally the way you want her to be. You don't want her to be that way because you asked her to be. And she thinks you're a cool guy and she's going to try to be the girl that you want her to be. You don't want that. That won't last anyway. Eventually, that's going to fade because she's going to fall off because she will be tired of putting on a show. No. Let them be who they are and then see who they are and then see if who they are fits into your life naturally. So the courting process, what is it about? It's about investing time into a potential soulmate. Does it cost money? Absolutely. And guess what? If by somehow you find your answer sooner than later and you break it off, go through the process all over again with another woman. That's what it's about. In pursuit of happiness, in pursuit of love. Love has a heavy price. But once you achieve it, you'll be the happiest man on earth. You'll have the most joy in your heart. You'll have the most to smile about. You'll always walk with a pep in your step, with your chest sticking out. When you find the right love, not just, now you can find love, but it don't mean it's the right love. You can find a girl that'll love you for the wrong reasons. That's not going to work out either. Or you can fall in love with a woman for the wrong reasons. It's not going to work out. You need the right love. The right love will truly make you happy. People who stay together for decades, they found the right love. That's why they're still together. That perfect niche between the two, which meld them together as one. That's what you're looking for. See, at the end of the day, it is about love. Now, I know this may sound like a cliche, but it's the truth. In the end, love conquers all. Let me say that one more time. In the end, love conquers all. Mm-hmm. That's what you want. Now, how do you get there? You have to put time in. You have to hold hands with this woman. You have to walk and talk with this woman. You have to bond with this woman. You have to earn her trust. She has to earn your trust. So y'all can open up with one another and have deep discussions about family. This takes time. This is all a part of the courting process, so you can know exactly who you're dealing with. So you don't make the mistake in falling in love with someone that's completely wrong for you, which is what you can easily do just by sitting out here, pumping and dumping. Pumping and dumping is going to get you some serious trouble. I'm talking about some serious trouble. The people who are telling you to pump and dump are absolute idiots. They're fools. You're a fool for believing that you can just go around here and continue to pump and dump women. Man, it don't work that way. The fools who are telling you that have no understanding of the female nature. That pumping and dumping to get you killed. You don't know what you're doing. You can't do women like that. They're not things. They're not inanimate objects that don't have feelings. Can't just do them like that. You're gonna fuck around and get smoked. Because it takes one time for you to pump and dump the wrong woman. And that's your ass. You better stop listening to these fools. Any fool that tell you about pumping and dumping has no understanding of female nature, has no understanding of women. And that's someone you should never listen to. Now, you can be a fool and go ahead and listen to them all you want. You can say, Max, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You some old fool from a time that don't exist anymore. All power to the people and all that bullshit like that. Ain't nobody rolling like that no more. You just an old fool and don't know what you're talking about. You can say that. You can call me all kinds of names. But I understand female nature. No matter what you call me. And I'm telling you right now, pumping and dumping is playing with fire. You're playing with your life. You got one time to pump and dump the wrong woman. I'll say it one more time. There are not things. They are not inanimate objects that don't have feelings. They're people. They're human beings with feelings and emotions. And they can easily become unstable. So don't listen to these fools who tell you, well, we're about pumping and dumping. Let them fools continue to play with their lives. You learn the nature of women, understand the nature of women, respect the nature of women so they can respect the nature of your manhood. It's a give and take. Strike balance. Seek out balance. Don't seek out one-sided affairs. Because eventually the other side is going to even out. And you're going to find that you'll end up with a little bit more than you bargained for. Sitting there scratching your head, wondering if you bit off a little bit more than you can chew. Why do we take the courting process seriously? Well, because we want to be happily married men. We want to be good fathers. We want children. We want to build a future. Are you ready for the courting process, though? Are you ready to put that kind of time in? It's going to take 6 months or more. I recommend at least 6 months. A year is optimal, but at least 6 months. It takes time to find the right woman. And it's a process that shouldn't be, but you shouldn't be in a hurry. Take your time. It's an investment of time. And yes, you're going to spend money. All that trying not to spend money on women, you can forget about all that. You tell me you don't want to spend money on women, I'll tell you that you're a fool and that you'll never have a woman. Not a real one that's going to love you back anyway. It takes time. It takes money. It's an investment. Hell, you put time and investment in your job, right? To achieve things in your workplace, why not put time and effort into you courting a woman that you want to be your wife one day? Why isn't that prioritized? Courting process. Romance is involved in the courting process. You always want to be romantic with a lady, even if you don't know too much about romance. Read a book or something about romance. See, I like to read effective books. I don't like to just read books for the sake of reading books. I like to read something that I can use. Read something that will tell you a little bit about romance. But don't be a robot. Don't just do exactly what you read in the book. Get a good idea about what you should do and develop your own style of romance. That's what women want to see. They want to see signs of original thought. They want to see something coming from you because that means something to them. That's why a lot of women back in the day loved when guys made them birthday cards or cards that represented a special occasion. You understand? Hold on 1 second, y'all. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Was distracted a little bit. That's why women back in the day loved it when men did things from their heart, right? Like make them cards or maybe put something together, made them dinner, whatever. Women love when you do things from the heart and it's about them. You got to get back to that. You see, a lot of superficial stuff is going on now. This is why these relationships don't last. This is why you guys are always on social media talking about dating because you can't get a steady woman. You don't know how. You're walking around here with this dumb shit about pumping and dumping. That's stupid. All that's going to do is get you a life of hell. And you don't know what to talk about. Y'all don't even be talking about anything. All y'all sit up here do is complain. Well, she didn't do this, she didn't do that. Well, she masculine. Why would you sit up and listen to a bunch of guys who tell you that women are masculine? Women aren't masculine. They're feminine. Just because some of them have profound features doesn't mean that they're masculine. You got to stop listening to this immature rhetoric. You think that you're listening to grown men, but what you're listening to is a boys' club, a collection of man children. That's what you're listening to. Boys make fun of girls, not grown men. Boys do. Remember when you were young, you made fun of the girl with the pigtails down the street? And many of us did it because we liked the girl with the pigtails, right? And the girl with the pigtails was really cute and wouldn't give us the time of day. So we used to go and call her names just to get her mad so she could chase us and try to beat us up. And then we let ourselves get caught. That was fun, right? Well, we're grown men now. We don't do that anymore. As a grown man, when you like a woman, you go and express that to her. You don't go and pull up pigtails. You don't go up to her and call her names so she can chase you around. It's not what you do. You express yourself. You express interest in it. You let her know that you're interested in it. Strike up a conversation with her. You don't have to have some kind of hard-hitting, quote and unquote, game. Just be honest about your conversation. You don't have to walk up to a woman with some line. I'm not saying that it's not okay to have a cool line. If you got a cool line working for you, use it. Anything to get her attention. But once you get her attention, be honest about the conversation. Strike up a conversation. That's all. Talk about a few things. Find out what her interests are. And when you're courting, you find out what type of woman that you're courting. You have some women who want you to talk about yourself. You got some women who want to talk about themselves. And at some point, a woman is both. She may want to tell you a little bit about herself. Then at some point, she's going to want to hear about you. Talk about things that interest both of you. Talk about things that interest her first, and then see if there are some things there that both of you can share an interest in. A conversation with a woman is kind of corny, you know? It's not some slick talking, tongue shrilling player. It's really a corny conversation. Hey, how you doing? So tell me a little bit about yourself. Well, I work at Simon and Schuster. I'm a this, I'm a that, and just a regular old plain Jane. I work and come home. Oh, really? Yeah. Well, you know what? I work down here at this construction company, and I go to work every day. Just a regular blue collar working guy. Oh yeah, yeah. I watch the game on the weekend. Oh yeah, you watch the game on the weekend? What kind of game you like? Well, I watch basketball, football. Oh, okay. It's basketball where they score the touchdowns? No, no. Basketball is where they get the slam dunks. Football is where they score the touchdown. You know. Oh, okay. That's kind of where the conversations kind of go. They're kind of corny with a little bit of quirkiness inside there. There's a chuckle here and there to break the ice. And then you continue the conversation. So what do you like to do? Well, I like to do a couple of things. I like to go to the movies, or I like to watch my favorite television shows. Oh, yeah? Well, I go to the movies every now and then. I don't watch too much TV, but, I do like to go to the movies every now and then. So what's your favorite movie? You like dramas? You like um, science fiction? Oh, I like the science fiction with the spaceships and stuff. Oh yeah, so you kind of like Star Trek, man? Yeah, Star Trek. Yeah, yeah. I used to be a Trekkie. Now you done hit a chord, right? Something both of you are interested in. She likes Star Trek movies. You like Star Trek movies too. Work that. Work that, and then work your way into the conversation. You know. So, do you have any brothers or sisters? Oh yeah, I got two brothers and a sister. I can't stand my brother and my other sister. My other sister's always telling me this, and that. Now you got keep her on that for a minute, because the more you have her talking about her family, the more comfortable she's going to become to you, right? Then when she's starting to wear it out on her family, then you jump in with your family. Yo, trust me, I can relate. My brother gets on my nerves all the time. He's always stealing my hats and whatnot. One time I went and bought a brand new hat, and I came back in the house and I put it on the counter, and I went and took a shower. When I came back, the hat was gone. He had took it and went outside, got into a fight with him, and got the hat all dirty. You know, maybe she starts chuckling, right? And you chuckle right along with her. Sometimes family is family. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So, listen, what are you doing Saturday night? Well, I'm not doing anything. Well, you know what? There's a great movie playing Saturday night. Would you like to go? Start ramping it up. These conversations, they're corny at first, but corny is okay, because corny is where you get real information. They're not. These conversations aren't like, yeah, baby, I'm a player and I'm slick like that, and you're gonna be my main squeeze. You're gonna be my jump off on the side. That's not the way they go. Even though you a cool hoe, I like hoes from the east side. You know, I got a couple of chicks I used to play with up here. You think you're gonna talk to a woman like that? Some of you actually do, right? Some of you actually do believe that you're gonna talk to a woman like that, and she's still gonna be around once you finish the sentence. Okay? So, again, when you're dealing with a woman, right? The conversations, be honest in your conversations. And they're going to be corny, but corny is good because you're being honest with each other. You're learning each other. You're finding things out about each other. You got to learn how to go with the flow, go with the vibe, and vibe back with her. If she start vibing with you, accept the vibe and vibe on her level. Don't go too far ahead. Don't jump up ahead of her. To which you start looking at you like, don't do that. Some of you go overboard. Don't do it. If she's telling you about her family, right, in a certain way, then you respond. Don't say nothing stupid like, wow, your family is dysfunctional. Don't say stuff like that. Especially if you come back with a dysfunctional family of your own. Just go with the vibe. You know? Understand the woman that you're talking to. Learn the woman that you're talking to. It's a slow process. Don't try to do it all in one night. And romance is always a big plus with a woman. You dudes, you're dealing with women. Romance is a must. I don't care if she's never been romanced before. Don't care nothing about that. It's a woman. Romance is a must. And you got to be cool about your romance, right? You got to learn how to, I wouldn't say manipulate. You got to learn how to adjust your romance. Some women you just can't run down on to give them a whole bunch of flowers. Because it depends on how they've been treated in their life, right? If they had men in their life that were bad who bought them a whole bunch of gifts but turned around and treated them like they were crap, then running down on them with a whole bunch of flowers and stuff may not work. It may work against you. So even if you did run down on her with a bouquet of flowers and it worked against you, find out why. Ask her questions. If she's, oh, so you don't like flowers? No, it's not that I don't like flowers, but every time a guy gives me flowers, he always treat me bad. Oh, okay. Now you got your answer. Every time a guy gives her flowers, she's been treated bad. So you have to adjust your romance. Respect, honor that. Don't give her no more flowers. Find another way to romance or find another way to implement romance. Okay? You don't want to do the flowers. Maybe you might want to have a limo pick her up one day to take her to work with to bring her home from work with some wine in there and a little note saying, I know you work every day and you spend time on your feet all day and you catch the bus home. Well, I wasn't able to come over today because I'm working, but I sent the car to give you a ride home. And here, have a drink on me. Do something cool like that. Women love stuff like that, thoughtful things like that. Yeah, it's just going to cost you a little bit of money. But remember, this is an investment. You're doing this because you think that this woman has the potential to be your soulmate. The only way you're going to find out is that you're going to have to invest time and money into her to find that out. That is what it's all about. And strong men know this. And strong men also know that it could be a possibility that you may go halfway and spend $1,500 to $2,500 just to find out that she's not the one for you. So you got to do it all over again. Now, I said $1,500 to $2,500. I'll be like, oh my God, you spend all that kind of money? No, you don't do all that at once or whatever. You can go in slow increments. I'm just saying that. That's an exaggerated number. But every situation is different. You may not have to spend that much, but you're going to have to spend some money. But be smart about the money you spend. And don't try to listen. Don't try to cut corners and try to get around the fact of the woman being a woman. What I mean by that is, if Valentine's Day is coming up and you're courting this woman, get her something for Valentine's Day. See, some of you fools go to, well, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day because it was about two homos. And okay, you don't celebrate Valentine's Day, but you're not a girl. See, that's what a lot of you niggas don't understand. You're not a girl. They want something for Valentine's Day. They don't want to hear this shit about, well, Cupid shot an arrow through somebody's nose, and they don't want to hear that shit. Say that for your conscious buddies. You want to talk that shit, go to the conscious community. You're courting a woman. Get her something for Valentine's Day. Fuck all that. Well, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day because a white man shot another white man with a bow and arrow and their heads was together like a hard nut. That's a conversation for your conscious buddies, not the woman that you're courting. And she don't want to hear that shit. Get her something for Valentine's Day. You ain't got to be a hard and candid and all that. Get her something. Get her something to let her know that you're thinking about her. Women don't want to be the only woman walking around with no gifts for Valentine's Day. They see other women being treated by their men. Now, the woman that you're with may not say nothing to you about it, but she see other women being treated by their men. And she expect to be treated by you. And you should expect to treat her. Take advantage of these things. Don't be a fool. Take advantage of these kinds of events. You can build up some serious credibility if you do these events right. Don't overdo them either. Don't be on some trying to buy her the moon, the stars. Just get something that's going to get the job done. You don't have to overdo anything. Okay? Take advantage. A real man takes advantage of these events. A real man takes advantage of Christmas, takes advantage of the birthday, takes advantage of Valentine's Day, takes advantage of Mother's Day, even if she's not a mother yet. Let her see you honoring her mother, your mother. And you can give her a future Mother's Day gift. Get her involved. Take advantage of all these events. A strong man takes advantage of these events. A weak man complains about these events. Oh, I ain't got no money. Christmas is a white holiday for Satan Claus and all them. And Valentine's Day, I don't know no black men, who celebrated Valentine. Wasn't St. Valentine a burglar? You think anyone want to hear that shit? I want to hear that. Especially if she outside in the downtown busy area. It's Valentine's Day. There's decorations everywhere. And men are going to and from with gifts that they done picked up from these department stores on to give these gifts to their women. And she's standing there watching this shit. You would have told myself, well, wasn't St. Valentine a burglar or some shit in England? I'm conscious. I'm pro-black. I don't celebrate Valentine's. And she listens to this bullshit you running, right? But yet you see black men going to and from with gifts. But you the only nigga sitting there talking about, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day because he was a burglar. Testing 1, 2. Let me see if I coming in loud and clear. Dame, if you're there, come in real quick for me. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. I'm here.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. I thought I was frozen for a minute.
Uh-huh.
All right. Okay. So let me go back. So, like I was saying, right? And so, do something for her. Remember, a strong man, brothers, takes advantage of all of these events, especially the birthday. The birthday is special. What you should be doing is putting money to the side. Okay. If your girl's birthday is coming up 6 months from now and you're working, this is perfect. Start putting money to the side. The birthday is special. You know why? Because it's the day she came into this world. So you have to be on it. The birthday has to be the best gift of all. Because that's your personal acknowledgement of her coming into existence. So you have to have the most expensive and the best gift. And you got time. Put a little money to the side. Spend a little money. Okay? I once bought my wife expensive tickets to go see Luther Vandross. I'm not a Luther Vandross fan, but she is. Those tickets were expensive. Do it. And always listen to your woman. Listen to the things she wants to do. And especially listen to the things that she always wanted to do. See, if your woman says, if you live in New York, right, between New York and Jersey, and you got the Hudson River, you got a ferry that goes from Jersey City to New York, and it goes right past the Statue of Liberty, right? And it goes to the seafood section right across there in New York. And your woman is telling you, wow, I always wanted to take that ferry. All right, surprise them one day. The art of surprise, right? Surprise should always come up because you're listening. Oh, man, why is this thing? I'm sorry about that, y'all. That's my GPS acting stupid. Surprise should come up because you're listening to what the things that your woman say that she always want to do. That's where your surprise should be coming from. If your woman says, "Man, I always wanted to, ride a roller coaster, or always wanted to ride a horse, or always wanted to ride in a horse and buggy," well, show up with a horse and buggy one day and surprise her. Show her that you've been listening. So why I say all of this, right? This sounds like a lot to some of you. But to a man like me, it's nothing because it's natural. Okay? So I'm a man who came out of the womb with respect and understanding. So this is all natural to me. It's not a bother to me at all. But to some of you, this may be a bother. To some of you, I may sound crazy. Man, Max, that's too much. I only get 20 hours a week on the job and they ain't making no money, man. I only make $250 a week and the government takes 25% of that. By the time I pay my rent, I got $25 in my pocket and I got to get back and forth to work. So some of you got a problem, right? Some of you think this is too much. It's not. It's not at all. And if you in a deadbeat job like that, for one, you got to learn how to manage your money. I'm going to do a show coming up on the Maximum Overdrive. I'm going to teach you young brothers who got these dead-end jobs with these forklifts and these high-lows where you're making $7, $8 an hour and you ain't hardly never got no money because you don't know how to spend your money. You don't know how to do. You're walking around here looking like a fool with your pants hanging down. Some of you who got these pants hanging down, those pants you got hanging down cost a lot of money. Some of you are wearing rocker wear hanging off your ass. If you're going to wear pants hanging off your ass, why buy some expensive pants like rocker wear? That don't make any damn sense. Okay, so we're gonna talk about how you guys can get into the game, how you can manage your money better, how you can take that $400 or $500 a week and make it work for you. See, I'm not gonna talk over your head. I'm not gonna tell you that you need to be in the top 10% or the 1% of the world. That's not realistic for us. Many of us is in that $500 a week range. That 300. Some of us are still in that $350 a week range. I've met some brothers who are making $350 a week after taxes. I didn't even know those jobs still exist, but they do. So I'm gonna show you how to work it from that aspect, so you can get yourself in the game, so you can have enough money to court your girl and put money to the side and build your own um, um, finances. We're gonna also have a show on GentCulture about what you need to do before you go for a woman. There's things you already got to have established before you even run it. I ain't even got to that part yet. I'm actually putting the cart before the horse right now and telling you about um, the courting process because I really wanted to get in your ear. But there's things that you're supposed to have established before you even get to this phase. You should never step to a woman without anything established already. That's another problem that you guys got. You don't have any financial resources. You don't have no steady employment. Many of you don't own a car. You don't own a house. And you're trying to step to a woman talking about she should submit. Sounding crazy as hell. I mean, you sound crazy. Let me check this out. You ain't got no financial resources. You living with your mama. She ready to kick you out of the basement. Dude, it's bad when you get kicked out of a basement. That's nothing to be proud of. It's bad enough you living in somebody's basement, but to get kicked out of one is something else. So you got no financial resources. You live in your mama's basement or somebody's basement, and you don't own anything. You're catching the bus, and you're walking up on a woman talking about something you want her to submit. You sound crazy as hell. I mean, you lucky she don't haul off and drop kick your ass. You sound crazy as hell. Seriously, a lot of y'all don't know how crazy you sound. You don't have a pot to piss in or a woman to throw it out talking about you want a woman to submit. Sounding crazy as hell. So there are things that you have to do before you even get to the courting process. And we're going to cover that in GentCulture, the next GentCulture. We're going to tell you, we're going to show you how to build yourself up so that you are fit to take on the courtship of a female. You got to be fit to take on the courtship of a female. That means you got to have things established. We're going to talk about getting yourself established first. You see, if you're an established man, you have no problem with women. You're going to be sitting around here talking about I need a woman to submit. You're going to be sitting around talking about she masculine. You're going to be sitting around here talking about man, she raised her voice. I felt attacked. See, if you're an established man, which brings about strength, you got a powerful foundation, then you don't sound like a punk. You don't react like a punk. You react like a man. Again, it's important to do what have you learned so far? Let's go with what we've learned. And I fancy myself as a teacher. I'm old school. No, I don't have no professional degree about nothing. These are things that I've learned in real time, in the real world, dealing with real people. It's real knowledge and real information. That's where my knowledge comes from. It's active knowledge that accumulate over time from dealing with real people in real situations, learning real information and seeing real results from real things that happen in real time. That's where my knowledge and information comes from. It doesn't come out of any book. You're not going to find it in any book because I didn't learn it in the book. I learned it in real time, dealing with real people. Anyway, what have we learned? We learned that a man's supposed to do what? Exhibit strength at all times. You should never show any weakness as a man, especially to a woman. Most of you think that you should never show weakness to a man. No, it's a woman you should never show weakness to. Never show weakness to a woman. You should always show her strength. And I told you the reason why. It's because she's naturally weak. She's a nurturer. She's a caretaker. She's a lover. She's filled with love. She's a potential mother. She has a right to be weak. You don't. So she needs you to be strong at all times. She's going to get emotional at times. She's going to need to cry. She's going to need to lean on somebody. You have to be that somebody, and you need to be strong at all times. And that old adage is true, right? Never let them see you sweat. Exactly. Never let them see you sweat. Never let your woman see you sweat. I don't give a fuck if it's 125 degrees outside. You better fucking carry a goddamn towel and wipe that sweat off your face before she see it. Because she believes in you. Understand something, brothers. You're taking on a huge responsibility. Somebody is believing in you and trusting you with their life. That is a damn big deal. That is something you should always take seriously. Someone is putting that much faith in you, that much belief in you. Then you better answer. And you better answer correctly. Because if you don't, then lives are going to be ruined because of you. Because you was too weak to answer. This is why I preach strength and shun weakness. This is why I tell you that a committed relationship is only for a strong man, not a weak man. Only strong men should engage in committed relationships. The courting process, I'm about to wrap this up. The courting process, what is it? It's an investment of your time that's going to yield valuable results. It's going to afford you valuable information. And yes, it isn't free. Women aren't free. And if you believe that they're not, you're a dumbass. And probably shouldn't be in a relationship anyway. Women aren't free, they cost. They are natural consumers. They consume resources. They are supposed to consume resources. And if you have no resources for them to consume, then they need not be with you because you cannot sustain them. They bring so much to our lives. They bring joy to our life. They bring love to our life. They get rid of loneliness. They become the person in your corner when the world is against you. They take care of you. They give you TLC. They bring you beautiful children into this world. Children for you to love. Little versions of yourself that you can guide and teach. They do these beautiful things for you. The best you can do, the least you can do, is take care of them. What does a relationship mean to you? Well, I guess it depends on what you're looking for, right? If you're looking for the baby mama drama, if you're looking for the child support checks and stuff like that, then I guess you'll be a guy out here that has no respect for women and who are just looking to pump and dump because that's what's going to yield all of that. But if you're a man, a strong man that wants one woman to love and to cherish and to build a future with, then courting is the process. Courting is the way for you. And don't let anybody tell you different. And with that being said, let me bring in my two co-hosts. The Lady Knight is behind the scenes, so is the Thunder Princess. We are at the end of the podcast. The next upcoming GentCulture will be about building yourself and making yourself a fit man before you approach a woman. Something I purposely left out today. Like I said, I put the cart before the horse today. But the next GentCulture, we're going back to the cart. And we're going to build the cart so that we can attach a horse to the cart. Right now, the cart has no horse attached to it. We'll cover that on the next GentCulture. Ladies, come on in here.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
So, ladies, we are at the end of the podcast. This is the time I like to open it up for everybody. The floor is open for anybody who wants to make suggestions and comments about what you've heard. So, ladies, what was your take on what you heard today?
Well, a lot of good information. Information for the men and the women. Women what to avoid, men and men what to look for in a man. Um, yeah, the true what courtship is truly meant for, and it's about, you know, and honest that it's gonna cost money, and that's why men should have their things in order. And
That's
for the
right.
guys that thinking, I don't have to do that. I just have to buy uh, a liquor and go with this girl right here, and the possible consequences for that. Either way, they're gonna be paying money.
Actually, you're going to be paying more money if you pump and dump because you're going to get yourself in a lot of trouble by
Hmm.
pumping and dumping.
Yeah,
You're a fool to go out here and pump and dump.
yeah.
A fool listening to fools. Abby, what's your take on everything?
Okay. I wasn't here earlier on, so I just came in. But what I hear is that, you see, what you give it to us as the information that you bring it to us, it has makes me think about how to build ourselves with our men and the women as well,
Mhm.
because this information can build the youth that they are coming, and then the one that they have weak mind is going to listen and they're going to learn something from it. Because
Mhm.
we have some men that they have weak man, and we have some women also who have weak men, and they don't want to build up something for themselves. But through this topic that you give it to us, or the analysis that you have given to us, is trying to tell us something how to build ourselves,
Hmm.
both men and the women. And it's
Hmm.
good that we need to hear all those things because
Hmm.
we becoming, we growing, we need a lot of information, a lot of good information, not any information at all. Just we need a good things that will make us improve in life. And that is what you give
Hmm.
to us today.
Hmm. That's what I was saying about being strong, right? This is why I say marriage and committed relationships aren't for weak men because you have to be strong, man. When you are facing adversity in the relationship and things are happening and things are coming down around you, you have to be strong. Your woman needs to see you in control because she's already losing it. Depending on what's happening to your children, this and that's going on with the home, you're about to lose your home or whatever. You have to maintain some strength and you have to maintain peace of mind and get things done because she's freaking out. You can't be freaking out with her. You
Right.
have to have your head together because she's going to be freaking out. And who she's coming to you. Why? Because you're her husband, you're her man. She's supposed to come to you. Let her be the emotional one. You be the strong man with the solutions. You need to get your act together and you need to make sure that the things that are coming to pass that are that are going to hurt your relationship do not come to pass. If you're losing your house, you find a way to keep it. Or you go to a plan B in case you lose the house. As a man, you're supposed to provide solutions. When she comes to you, you're supposed to have solutions. You're not supposed to be sitting down with your throwing your hands up, crying like a little boy. You are a man, and you're supposed to have the problem solved. You are supposed to have the answer, and you can't have these answers. You can't do these things. You can't be the man that she looks to for solutions if you are weak. Because as a weak man, you're going to be just as emotional and just as hopeless as she is.
Right. Right. I think, yeah, I think we cannot be weak in that point. The man cannot be weak in that point because when you are weak, what are you going to do to help your women or your
Nothing.
wife?
A weak man
Nothing.
can't
Yeah.
help. A weak man can't help his women or children.
Right. So your
That's,
children is going to turn out being a street children, or your children is going to be burden on the women, and then all the time is the women who have to afford for your children that you have given birth to
it's
because
like
you
we
have a
have,
weak.
right? It's like we have children out there who are selling things because they're trying to, feed their family. Their families are starving because the fathers are either gone or they're weak. There's no way in hell that my son or daughter would be out there selling anything. I once met a man in a truck stop who were polishing chrome on trucks. Now, it's a good little hustle. It's not a real job, but it's a good little hustle. Sometimes drivers will let you polish their chrome and they give you a few dollars. But I watched a guy who had all four of his boys out there doing the same thing. And I asked him, I said, why you got your boys out here doing this? He said, well, I'm trying to teach them how to earn money by showing them that you are not employed and that you're running around here pretty much, scavenging and trying to put a few dollars here and there together. Why not teach them to go to work and get a real job and learn how to manage their money instead of being in the street? He said, well, they want to come along. I let them come along. I just do this for my weed money. That's what you're teaching your sons, to come out here and scrape in the street so they can get a little weed money. And you wonder why our kids end up in the street the way they do. You got fathers out there in the street with them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, ladies,
Mm-hmm.
that is the end of Gen Culture. Hope everybody enjoyed it. We're
Yes.
going to then get the music queued up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank everybody for coming in and supporting the channel. Again, remember the next Gen Culture, we're going to talk about building that man before he meets a woman. We're going to talk about what it takes to be an established man before you approach a woman. That's next on Gen Culture. So until then, we'll see you then. Remember, we build husbands, we build fathers, and we build gentlemen here on Gen Culture. With that being said, damn, you ready to get us out of here?